Okay, here we are about ready to go ahead and put on the seal coat to our top finish on this acrylic top bar that we're going to do. The seal coat is simply to go ahead and make sure that no bubbles and so forth come after the when we start pouring our full coats on top. As I explained before, everything basically on here has been prepped. Everything's been sealed with polyurethane. We've already carefully mixed equal portions of our resin and our hardener, carefully mixing the batch in equal amounts. The rope has been sealed with polyurethane. Everything in the underneath has been sealed. Now we're about to put on a seal coat. We're going to pour the seal coat on slowly and then brush it in so that it coats the entire surface. We're using a good brush, not a cheap one, so that we can make sure that we don't end up with all kinds of things in our coating as we pour this and pour it in. It's a pretty simple process. We want to make sure that everything is sealed on the top so that no air bubbles will escape when we do our flood coats later, when we put these second and third coats on, as we bring our level of the finished product up to the top of the rope and seal everything in. Now, as we're doing the seal coat here, we already noticed that some of what we pour is sinking into the sand that's there where it hasn't been properly or completely sealed above, but nothing to the point where we are worried about it, because this seal coat can sink into the sand and make it look more like real wet sand. Again, the sand does come out of the beaches of the Gulf of Mexico. Other than the glass pearls that are here at the bottom, everything else that's in the scene that we have on the bottom is all natural from the Gulf of Mexico. Everything came out of the Gulf, and we're kind of proud about that, and everything is local stuff. We may have some bubbling coming up later, even with this seal coat brushed on and clean, because some of these things, they are of course natural products, and some will, even though sealed, still have areas where air may seep through and be able to get into our second coat. So we're going to try to get as much of this seal coat in here as we can. Also, when the seal coat is on, we're then also going to be putting in some three-dimensional products that are not seen on the scene right now. We have some glass poured fish, octopus, and some additional tiny, very tiny starfish, and let's see, starfish and sand dollars that will be added to the scene as we go along here. So those will also be added while we're doing this seal coat, and we'll see how that turns out. Hopefully those will be three-dimensional in the finished product as we get it done. So as you see, this is a simple process of simply brushing it on. The sand does appear to be getting wet from the seal coat going on here, and we want to make sure we get all these little areas coated. And we'll be back with more as we get into the pouring of the flood coats. And as you see, this stuff does go on very easily, brushes in very well. Everything has been properly glued and sealed originally, so we don't have much of a problem with getting this to spread around.